Let's be real, we've all been there. You're staring at a task, you know you should be doing it, but suddenly cleaning out the junk drawer feels like the most important thing in the world. That, my friends, is procrastination. And today, we're going to figure out how to finally beat it.
Okay, before we dive in, I want you to do something for me. Think of one thing, just one. What's that task you've been avoiding? Is it a big project for work, a tough email you need to send, or hey, maybe it's just doing the laundry? Got it? Good. Keep that in your head as we go.
All right, so to really solve this thing, we have to understand what we're actually dealing with. And it turns out procrastination is it's this really weird and kind of backward paradox.
Now, this is probably the most important shift in thinking we need to make. Procrastination is not you being lazy. It's not a character flaw. It is an emotional response. It's your brain trying to protect you from negative feelings. You know, that awful anxiety when a task feels huge, or that fear of what if I don't do a good job. And that right there is the paradox. In our attempt to avoid feeling bad, we end up making ourselves feel way worse. The task doesn't just disappear, right? Instead, it just gets bigger and bigger in our minds, collecting all this extra stress and anxiety around it. It's a total vicious cycle. So, how in the world do we break out of that cycle? Well, it all starts by dismantling this huge, popular idea about how we get things done. I like to call it the motivation myth. Most of us think that we need to feel motivated before we can act. We're just sitting around waiting for this magical lightning bolt of inspiration to hit us. But what if I told you that's completely backward? The reality is the total opposite. Action actually creates motivation. You don't wait to feel good to get started, you get started, and that is what makes you feel good.
Just let that sink in for a second. This one simple idea, it's the absolute key to everything. If you're waiting for the perfect mood to start that thing you were just thinking about, well, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. The feeling you're actually looking for is on the other side of just starting.
Okay, so if action is the key, how do we get the engine started when we feel totally, completely stuck? This brings us to our very first strategy, and it's a good one, the momentum machine. The secret here is to basically trick your brain. I want you to forget about that giant, overwhelming task. Nope. Instead, you're going to focus on one tiny, almost laughably small action related to it. The whole goal is to make the barrier for starting so incredibly low that it feels sillier not to do it. And I mean, really think about how simple this is. You're not writing an essay. No, you're just writing one single sentence. You're not doing a full workout. You're just putting on your gym clothes. See? The action is so small, it sneaks right past all that fear and resistance in your brain. And that's where the magic happens. You know, an object in motion stays in motion, right? It's the same exact principle here. Once you've written that one sentence, well, writing a second one feels a whole lot easier. Once you've got your workout clothes on, you might as well do a few stretches, right? That tiny first step is all it takes to build momentum. This whole idea of starting small leads us perfectly to a second amazing tool. This one is perfect for all those little tasks that pile up and create all that background noise in our heads. It's called the 2-minute rule. 2 minutes. I mean, what can you really get done in just 2 minutes? Turns out, a lot more than you think. And that's the entire commitment you're making with this rule. The rule itself is just beautifully simple. If you see a task, any task, that can be done in less than 120 seconds, you don't write it down, you don't schedule it, you don't even really think about it. You just do it, right then and there. Replying to that quick text, putting that one dish in the dishwasher, taking out the trash, boom, just get it done. So why does this work so incredibly well? Because every single time you knock out one of these tiny tasks, your brain gets a little hit of satisfaction. It's a small win. And these little wins, they start to add up, creating this really powerful feeling of, hey, I'm getting things done. I'm in control. And that is the whole point. That feeling of progress is the absolute enemy of procrastination. When you feel like you're actually moving forward, that sense of being totally overwhelmed just starts to melt away. You're not stuck anymore, you're in motion. So, we've kind of reframed the whole problem, and we've looked at 2 super practical solutions. Let's put it all together. What's your first step, starting right now? So what's in your new action toolkit? It's simple. For those big, scary projects, you're going to start with the smallest possible action, just to get that momentum going. And for everything else, you use the 2-minute rule to clear away the clutter and build that amazing feeling of progress.
Look, if you only take one thing away from all of this, please let it be this. The feeling of being ready is a total myth. Motivation isn't something that you just wait for to show up. It's something you create, and you create it by starting small, right now.
So let's make this real. Think back to that thing you were putting off at the very beginning. Is there a 2-minute version of it you can do the second this is over? Can you write that one sentence? Send that one text? The power isn't in knowing any of this stuff. It's in doing it. So what are you going to do?